My dear friends, we go back to the original teaching of Jesus on the virtue of humility, and we will reflect on this teaching, the good news, and see how we can learn and apply it to our everyday lives. But since it's a bright, beautiful day, and today is also a day of blessing for the parish, the bishop will be here at noon to say the Mass and to do the formal groundbreaking for our new Family Life Center. And so let's have a joke. There was a parish with so many problems, and so the bishop decided to move the pastor to another assignment to address the problems of the parish. But then the pastor has been there for like 10 years, and is already comfortable there, and he doesn't want to go. So after so many times, the bishop persuaded him, and he finally agreed to leave. And so during his last Mass, he went to the podium, and then he said, 10 years ago, Jesus brought me to this place. Now, Jesus is taking me away. And the choir answered, "What a friend we have in Jesus." It is a nice song. You remember, "What a friend we have in Jesus." A beautiful song. But anyway, today, the first part of the Gospel is about, the virtue of humility. And, Greece is the cradle of Western civilization. The Greek teachers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they were the fathers of modern Western civilization. Our culture came from them. They were the original teachers. Everything from language to literature, math, architecture, engineering, even culinary arts, all of this were all initiated by the Greeks. And so 6 centuries before Christ, for the first time, we heard from Socrates in his teaching on humility. And he said this is the central virtue in life, and he was the one who mentioned the famous jargon, "Know thyself." Self-knowledge is the foundation of the virtue. That you know your strength, you know also your weaknesses, so that you know your capabilities. At the same time, you know your limitations, and so you can prepare, and determine your actions and your reactions. So it begins with self-knowledge. And that is very real in Jesus. When he came to the world, we recall the baby born in the manger. God came to us, giving access to everybody. Everybody was invited. Later on, we will have the Nativity at Christmas, and there we see God, accessible by everybody, the non-threatening baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, surrounded by raw nature, surrounded by animals and the poor and the wealthy and the powerful, angels, the entire creation. Jesus came as God to tell us that everybody is invited by God. And so this has been the life of Jesus. During the temptation, he was able to survive because he knew himself, self-knowledge. Amidst the enticements of the devil, he told him, "I am the Lord your God. You shall worship the Lord your God." So self-knowledge, very important in life. So we know our capabilities. We can, control our weaknesses, manage our emotions. It's important that we know something about ourselves, which is the foundation of the virtue of humility. And so, the application of this, very briefly, what is the relevance of this virtue to us, especially in our demographics here? Retired people living in Wildwood and the villages. How do we apply this beautiful teaching of Jesus about humility to us? Okay? So the second portion of the homily is about the joys and blessings of old age. Okay? There's a reaction, okay? The joys and blessings of old age. So, I am not an authority on that. Not yet. I don't qualify for Medicare yet. You are the authority on that. So here I'm always the one talking, but let's have something for a change. I need audience participation. Okay? Because you teach me. I want to learn. What are the joys and blessings of old age? So we will need volunteers. Okay? Don't be bashful. We will not take so much of your time. The bishop will be here at noon before that, so we will be behaving and be on time. But I need somebody stand up and teach us. What are the joys and blessings of old age? Because old age is a gift, is a blessing. But we want to hear it from you. You teach me. Okay? Oh, there's somebody there. Come on, stand. What is that? Grandchildren. Very good. Family. 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 You have come to a point where you can see your kids, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Family. That's a blessing and a gift. Sometimes when you feel that you are not blessed, look around you. The people around you, your family. Okay? Anybody else? Yes? Is somebody there?
After we've raised our children and taken care of husbands and wives, it is our time to not have to rush around like we did with raising children and taking care of the house and maybe going to work. So we can pick and choose now what we want to do.
Very good. Very good. That's freedom. Freedom now. I mean, before, you're all stuck up with, responsibilities, driving your kids to school and preparing everything. Now, there are more choices, on your schedule. You are more flexible now. And of course, you have the means, especially if you're in the villages. You cannot come here if you did not save anything, Personally, I cannot afford to live in the villages because priests are below poverty, but that's okay. But flexibility, freedom, and the gifts that God has given you, something to thank God. And not everybody has this. Sometimes when there are people here complaining about how difficult, you pause and look how God blessed you. Not everybody has what you have. A lot of poor people there, and cannot even get out of the house. You have nothing. Be grateful, for this wonderful blessing. What else? Somebody? Okay, stand up. Wisdom. That's great. Is that true? Older people are wise? I think yes. Yeah. I think yes. They are more, what do you call this, accepting, compassionate, except in parking lots. And I'm just joking. That's a joke. Yes. Community. You know what? A great deal of our people in the mingle, people are worried about people leaving the church, not going to church anymore, especially when they have families and they're busy. But a great phenomenon happening here, returning Catholics. You know, from especially now that you have your time, you have your blessings now, you have a nice home, they are going back to church. See what's going on with our parish. Returning. You know, they say, Father, we want to now, put our relationships in order with God. And they pray. Look at our attendance is climbing now, reaching almost 5,000, and it will pick up and peak at almost 10,000 next Easter. People are going back, returning Catholics. The community, where a sense of belonging, and that's a gauge of happiness, where you like where you are and you belong. That's the meaning of parish. Okay, it's a beautiful. I'm learning. Anybody else wants to? The joys and blessings of old age. Yes.
My favorite psalm is Psalm 92, and at the end it says, "In old age, the tree will still be ripe, and the sap will still be flowing."
Very good. You don't give up. That's why when they say to retire, you don't stop moving. You just change tires. When you retire for better traction, you just change tires. Go on with your faith and family, celebration of God's blessings. Anybody raising hand here? Yes.
You don't have to worry about impressing other people. You can be honest with everything because you don't care what other people think.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. You don't have to impress because you have seen a lot already, right? You have seen. Look at the years. You already know. You have experienced the wealth of experience. Nothing can shake you anymore. Okay? So you cannot be determined by the craziness of other people. This is my life. This is my boundary. And I live it with conviction now because I have seen a lot already. See, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Very wise. What else? Yes?
Friendship grows stronger.
Friendship grows stronger, especially in our community. You are so blessed. This is a safe, beautiful, wonderful community where people are reaching out. There's a family here. They don't have relatives around, and the husband got sick. And when the husband was healthy, he used to help a lot of people. When he got sick, the entire street took turns to take care of him. Everybody, no religion, no. Everybody, during his funeral, there were Lutherans and Baptists, Presbyterian neighbors who took care of him. They took turns. And so that's beautiful. You cannot live without friends, for one thing. We were created to be with people. And here, it's so tangible. It's real. See? There's a lot to learn. Who else? Yes? Very good. Which means gratitude. Gratitude. Now you have seen through the years how God has been with you and guiding you. You can now look back and see that you thought you made wrong decisions, but there was a plan. Before it was not clear, right? You thought, oh, I made a mistake. Now you look back and everything turned out okay. You know, everything turned out okay, which means that God was there. Things we never understood in the steps that in the past, now it's clear. You know, that there is a God who guided you. You know, that God was there with you always. And so, there is no room for regret. I think the sign of a happy person is no regrets. It seems that everything from the past, we thought mistakes we made, turned out okay. It turned out okay. There is no regret. Because sometimes as you grow older, the temptation is to think, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, you did good. Especially with our children. Oh, I could have done this, I could have. No, you did good. You did your best. You're a good mother. You're a good father. And they're okay now. All those years, God was with you. And there is now a horizon where you can look back and prove that God was with you. And so, there's something to celebrate. The joys and blessings of old age. Our time is limited. We will do this again, okay? But thank you to those who participated. Thank you so much.